Another warm welcome to episode 27. Okay, no, not really episode 27, but the our guy. I don't know why I get this anxious laughter every time I try to do an introduction to the episodes that I do. But anyway, another warm welcome to the Cordial Podcast with me, your host, Mungai Kang'ong'oi. A host with no intro because he decided, let's switch up some things. Sindio? How has your week been? How has your day been? I don't know at what exact time you're listening to this, but if you're listening on a particular Saturday that is on the 15th of June, wait, tulifikaje katikati ya June bana? Hey bana, whoever's in charge of the timeline bana, unatukimbiza. Unatupeleka mbio juu. Jamani, hii mbio na hata tupati pesa kwa mfuko. Tutafanyaje? But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in on another episode with me, here to talk by myself because hata pesa ya kutafuta watu manze, economy. Anyway, if you've been on socials lately, umenotice hii wiki Wakenya wameamua tu kuamka. Yani Wakenya wameamua pala bana, we have to reject this finance bill 2024 because hawa ni akina nani bana? Wanataka kututax mpaka sisi wenye we are unemployed and living under our guardians houses tutakuwa tunalipa ati 500 per month. Inatoka wapi? Hata wao inatoka wapi? Hamtupatii kazi. By the way, ingekuwa kazi, kila mtu angekuwa na kazi, sawa, sure, yo 500 tutakupatia mkubwa, lakini aje bana. So it has been a really good experience to see Kenyans online stand together, everyone who's trying to give the information right on people, even to those people who are not on social media as much, especially the common mwananchi, the people who do not get to understand what exactly is a finance bill. And people have been trying to educate people, to get information out there that this thing should not be passed. And we all know how MPs act when such things come to be discussed on the table. They just pass it because hata hao hawana akili na pesa tu ndo imegonga akili. But I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm actually glad because at this moment there is a mass and what do you call it, kizungu imenipotea kidogo. Anyway, so yesterday Boniface Mwangi posted that he is calling out a massive call out to every Kenyan who is available to go on Tuesday to the parliament to tell these people, mukijaribu kupitisha hiyo kitu mjue mtabaki huko ndani, juu mkitoka huko nje kutawaka. Mkitoka huko nje tutawapeleka mbio juu. What is this, man? Why is all this tax being placed on even some things that don't even make sense, and even some funding being removed from some really, really delicate, projects that have been running for a while, and you really pity where we are headed exactly as a country. But anyway, that was just a by the way, because hata mimi nimeona nikuwe activist kwa podcast yangu. Sasa tutafanya nini bana? Lazima tukuwe activist. I actually would have loved to kutokea hiyo Tuesday. Kama si internship, wallahi ningeenda nipige nduru proper. Sasa tumeambiwa mpaka hata ya kuvaa ni black. Unavaa black na ubebe handkerchief na maji juu. Polisi polisi watakuja na walikam na kinini. They will come with it, definitely. So I'm actually looking forward to that day because I hope Kenyans turn up even better than how the previous turn up for femicide was early in the year. And I hope everyone will get involved, and I hope everyone will turn up, and just make a stand on the finance bill, which is really atrocious. watu bana nataka kutumaliza. But I've said that was a by the way. And also, I don't know how I forgot to mention this because I'm a huge what do you call it, propagator of men's mental health. And this month, unasikia? So to every man that is listening, tafadhali, take care of your mental health. And if it was coming from personal advice, I will tell you, seek God. Seek your God. Whether it's Allah, whether it's God, Christian God, Jesus Christ, seek him, because I think in every religion there is a basic understanding that God provides peace. God provides understanding. God provides grace. So apart from that, also find something to do. Work on your dreams. Work on everything that you want to achieve. And also get into communities. Get into communities that actually propagate you to do better, that actually push you to be a better man. And do not get involved in conversations that do not make you better, especially as a man. At this point in life, at this point in, history, we should actually come together as men and talk about how we are really diminishing in terms of how we are perceived in the community and how we need to take our leadership roles as we were accorded to. And so please stand up, become a better man, hold yourself accountable, hold yourself with the utmost respect that you deserve, and that means also taking care of yourself. Think about yourself first, then community, because actually the topic of today revolves around community and self-consciousness, and it's actually from a TikTok video I watched. But anyway, as we conclude about the mental health, please take care of yourself, and please, if you're a lady listening to this, if you're a lady na uko na mtu unasikia vizuri sana nimesema, if you're a lady na uko na mtu, tafadhali always check up on your people. Usifikirie kucheck up ni kuulizana wewe unanipeleka date. Tafadhali show love, show compassion if you love that to be shown unto you. And also, even for the men in your life, please show them compassion, and not only for this month, but please let it be a regular thing that happens, because this is how we build community. And ladies and gentlemen, it is at this juncture that I decide to move into our topic of the day. And I've said it's from a TikTok video I watched about Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and another lady who hosts a podcast on, it's called The Comment Section. And they were having this, it was just a snippet of the conversation, and it really got to me because I've literally talked about this topic in several episodes. I've mentioned about community, I've mentioned about self-reflection and all these things, even self-awareness and all these things. But as I was listening to this video, and the conversation that we're having, Dr. Jordan said, like self-consciousness and being miserable are identical twins. And I was like, ngoja, finya pause kidogo. Unasema nini? How is being self-conscious and being miserable be identical twins? How does that make sense? And as I was listening, I was like, he gave a really good explanation of how, self-consciousness, because I had to actually go to Google, guys. Imebidi niende Google. Juu sasa nilikuwa nashindwa kwani hii self-consciousness inamaanisha nini? And I found one particular definition of it, and it says it is the having of knowledge of one's own existence, especially the knowledge of one's self-conscious being. And even from that simple kizungu, you can understand that this is you recognizing of all the actions that you take, of all the things that you do, of all the thoughts that you have. That is being self-conscious. Like you understanding that you actually exist, and your existence is a whole lot of knowledge about you, about what revolves around you. And last week, even when we were talking about, being calm, being composed, I think this actually attracts to it, because when you sit down and you become calm and composed, you actually are being self-conscious. But now here comes in the identical twin of being miserable. And Dr. Jordan was talking about how if you think about yourself too much, if you think about yourself too much, like every single time in your head thoughts are about you, guy, kwani nakaa aje, guy, kwani sipati kitu, why am I not doing this, why am I doing that, why is it always about me, why is it me, akili yako tu inagonga tu me. You see, if you're that way, then he says you become miserable. And it is at that point that I actually recognize that is actually true. Because if you're always thinking about yourself, if you're always thinking about how things should work out to yourself, and I'm going to interrupt kidogo Ju. This is one of the understandings I got, especially when it comes to that statement that people use of I deserve this, I deserve that. Because why do you deserve? Wewe ni nani? Hiyo ndio swali wanashinda nikijiuliza. Wewe ni nani? Who are you to deserve whatever you're saying you deserve? Now, you see, it's because you have, in some way, been in your mind too much about yourself, and you becoming attention should be on you and all these things. And to be fair, all these thoughts make you become miserable because you only think of how life should work out by your own terms, which, to be honest, it can't. Wadau haiwezi. No, let me just break it to you right now. Breaking news. Wake up or post hapo chini. If we were on YouTube, ningeka post hapo chini of breaking news, because trust you me, not everything will work out according to your terms. Not everything will work. Kuna hata wewe mwenyewe unajua. Na ndio maana you're miserable. That's ndio maana you're miserable. Maisha ni ngumu wewe. But now, even as we come to think about that, he gives Dr. Jordan gives a kind of solution where he says, instead of basing too much of your thoughts about yourself and being about you and you, think about your community. Think about the relationships that you have with people. And in many episodes, I've always talked about community. I've talked about, having relationships that actually make sense. Having relationships that actually build you and they do not, hinder you from achieving your best potential, even at what cost, And he said that and I was like, exactly. Because we are humans. And this talk of having individuality in everything. Oh, it is about me. Oh, it has to be the way I want. Oh, it has to work out the way I want. All this talk of being individual, I have to, because I feel this way, you people should accept me. My friends, I don't think we are heading in the right way as a community. And I think you have all seen the effects that it has done when people are now, we have to consider everything that people feel. I am sorry, I have to say that, but I don't think every thought should be considered. And that's where community comes in, because we have to agree on some guidelines. We have to agree on how to live life as a community, because you cannot live alone. Hata watu wa kusema ati I don't like people, huwa mnanishtua sana. Sasa ampandangi matatu, ampandangi ndege, you always use your own things. Huwa mnajitengenezea vikombe za kunywa chai, mnajitengenezea nyumba, mnaendea hizo mawe kwa kware peke yenu. Do you do that? No, I don't think you do that. You actually rely on people to do things. Now, I can understand the perspective of saying you don't like people because probably you've not had meaningful relationships with people, or the people around you, the community around you does not fulfill you in any way. And so you kind of get this feeling that you're supposed to be alone, and you can't stand people. I'm sorry to break it to you. Another breaking news. Tafadhali, find community that gives you purpose, manze. That, gives you just a sense of being. Because you cannot live alone. You cannot do things alone. And so he talks about, having this community, having these relationships that matter, because it does not It does not make you miserable, but it gives you a sense of being and also some kind of responsibility and accountability to everything that you think about, to every kind of decision that you make. It gives you some kind of accountability where you know if I do something, it has a ripple effect to other people. It has some kind of connection to other people, whether you see it or whether you do not see it. And I think we can give many examples of how one decision can affect somebody else. And one, by the way, hata niwaambie juu najua mnajuanga nyinyi watu mko kwa relationships mtu wako ikasirika si hata wewe ina change mood yako, but exactly. If let's say your parent comes in at home in the evening and they are angry, it obviously has an effect on you, and so that should tell you that in everything that you do, you should be wary of the community that you're in. You should be having that sense of responsibility where you know everything that you do will be felt by people close around you or anyone that is just in your environment. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I will keep on pushing this agenda of people finding community that serves them and you serve them, of course. Communities that actually propel you to become a better person. Communities that do not involve people eating each other. Mnakulana tu kichwa. Direct translation. But I hope you get what I'm talking about, because community gives sense, manze. Me, I will always propagate that notion that we have to give more. We have to give more on building communities. And I'm actually grateful because, as I've said, I've found communities that actually serve me and I serve them to the best of my capacity. And even in this particular video, you get the sense that community gives you more purpose. Community gives you an individual aspect where you know you have to be successful for you and your community to be successful. Like you're a part of a chain. You're not alone. That chain is not you peke yako. It involves people, and community will always trample over individuality. But in that same sense, community is the foundation upon which individual success is built on. Unashika hiyo point, because I actually had to write it down. Community is the foundation upon which individual success is built on. Now, when I say individual success, what do I mean? What do I mean? Because nimetoka kusema individuality, it makes sense. But you see, when you start thinking about other people, when you're a man and you want to start a family, that is when some kind of sense comes into you where you know you have to make things happen. And that is how the foundation of success comes in. You get, like, your own success. It is not on your own accord, but it is you recognizing that you want to have a family. You want to have a relationship that matters. You want to have a relationship that will outgrow everything else. And that is the foundation upon which success should be built on. Not on you having what you want, what you feel you want to do. No. However much that is in the perspective of it, let it not be the top priority. In any case, let it never be the priority that, you just want things to work out on your own peril and there's nothing that can change your mind on it. So, please, to every listener that is listening to this episode, because we are on episode 27, manze, wadao. Episode 27, nipigeni makofi. Jesus. Najua unaosha vyombo, but piga makofi mahali huko. Piga makofi. But anyway, yes. So, even when we are talking about this being self-conscious, please just know, yes, be self-conscious. Yes, understand that you have decisions to make. Yes, understand that all these things that are in your head, these thoughts, let it all be based from a community perspective. And I think that is how we were created to be as humans, to be social, not to be in any way actually have individualistic lives that don't even make sense, that actually just deplete the human decency that we are supposed to accord each other. And so we have come to another end of another episode. Juu hapa ningeongea mingi. But as you can see on your watch, we've already spent 20 minutes on this episode, and I don't want to ruin your attention spans because I actually care about you. I actually care about my listeners. I actually care about you. So, yes, I hope you can get to listen to this episode again and, just write down those small things that you probably learned through it. And if this episode has been imekusaidia, imekuguza tu mahali, wanielewa? Kama imekuguza mahali, you can obviously share to every person that you think should listen. But every person should listen to this. So, yes, please share, please pour out your reviews. Mimi nakuanga tu open to reviews, open to conversations that bring out this community of Cordial Podcast, to grow and we become better. Juu sasa wadau, finance bill imesema sisi content creators tukianza kumonetize hizi vitu tutaanza kuitishwa tax. Jamani. But anyway, we are doing this for the passion. We are doing this for the love of having conversations within our communities. So it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for listening in. I've been your host again. Nani mwingine? Ni nani mwingine? Kang'ong'oi. I know my second name is hard to pronounce, but you'll get through it. Tukifika episode 30, utakuwa umekosa kutaja kweli. But anyway, thank you very much for listening in. It has been a pleasure. Please let us meet again next week on episode 28. Itakaaje? Haya, tupatane. Bye.